Buongiorno, everyone. Right now, we're standing in front of one of the oldest basilicas in all of Rome. Now, at first glance, this might look like it dates back maybe to the Renaissance era. However, it is much older than that. This Basilica Santa Maria de Maggiore dates back to 432 AD, right at the height of the Byzantine Empire, and you're going to see a lot of Byzantium elements within this church. Now, this is one of four papal basilicas. That means the Pope frequently has Mass here every year, especially during the major holiday for St. Mary. So let's walk around. This is on the Esquilline Hill, and we did a live video of this, so here's a bonus 360 video so you can really take in this church in all of its glory. So let's enjoy it. Now, back in the early 400s, snow hit particularly just this neighborhood of Esquilline Hill. That was very odd because, as many of you know, when the snows usually blankets a pretty huge part of the city, and Esquilline Hill is not particularly a large neighborhood. So the people of Rome found this very interesting. They found it as a holy sign. The Pope himself came to Esquilline Hill and drew a line in the snow saying, this right here at this very spot is a holy place. And thus they end up building Santa Maria Maggiore, and it's still standing to this day. Let's walk inside. So the nave itself is the original part of the basilica. The rest was ended up being built, and finished being constructed in 1730s. Now, right above us is an amazing golden gilding on the ceiling, and according to legend, no one knows this for sure, but a lot of accounts say that this gold was the very first gold to be brought into America through Columbus's journey. First, it landed in the hands of Ferdinand and Isabel, and then the Pope got its hands on that gold and used it to gild these very ceiling. There used to be way more windows, but some of the windows were blocked in alternating order and covered with these amazing paintings that depict a lot of scenes from the Virgin Mary's life. Right in front of us we have a papal canopy, the same type of canopy you see in St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. The reason this is called a papal canopy is because it depicts the Pope. Not depicts, but it is the place where the Pope sits during particular masses every single year. Let's take a look downstairs. This is the most recent edition, built in 1732. Now, in most cities, 1700s alone would be a very old church. But not here in Rome. Here in Rome, we have churches, as we're standing right now, dating back to 400. Here's a depiction of one of the popes. breathtaking works in this basilica is the mosaic work. This was made at the height of the Byzantine Empire, so we have that typical Byzantine style that we see all around the former Eastern Roman Empire, modern-day Greece, also Turkey. Right up there we see scenes of the Old Testament. Now also look down, because there is beautiful mosaic work right on our feet. That's the cool thing about 360 is that you can really take in the entire place in all of its glory. Now this nave is monumental. While most naves don't tend to be as large in terms of size, this one very long, very wide, and has these very typical Roman columns, which suggests that the architecture might have been slightly different in 400 AD. Now, this transept was actually added many centuries later. And let's go right inside here, the Chapel of Borghese, one of the richest families of Rome. So right now, it's being completely lit up. So now we're seeing the mosaics in full glory. Let's take a closer look. This is absolutely magical. I'm going to extend this 360 selfie stick. So some of these depictions that we see high above of the Virgin Mary are amongst the oldest depictions that we have in the historical record of the Virgin Mary. And as you know, in the Roman Catholic religion, the Virgin Mary is held in very high esteem as opposed to other Protestant religions or even the Eastern Orthodox or the Russian Orthodox religions. The Virgin Mary is not high up there. Here in the Roman Catholic religion, it's high up there along with Jesus and God himself. We have confession booths, and these booths are divided into different languages. So here they have Italiano, Castellano, which is Spanish, and the times where you can make your confession. So the cool thing about 360 video, having this very long selfie stick, is that we can take a closer look at statues like these. Let's go. Isn't that so cool? You can get up close to the actual marble sculptures. Alright, let's continue into the other chapels. So that is the covered up corpse, skeleton of Sixtus V, who's known also as the Pontiff Maximus. Interesting. So Sixtus V, the Pope, was one of the popes who was most invested in this church, in this basilica, and actually ended up building a whole lot of different additions to it. Another basilica with Jesus on the cross. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
We need you.
That was beautiful. If you're watching this before it's posted publicly, Thank you so much for becoming a supporter and for lending your support to this show where I can continue making videos like this in many beautiful cities all around the world, continuing to explore the history of these places that, just end up getting more and more interesting as we go deeper into history and all the connections are being made between all these different cities. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching afterwards, thank you as well for watching, commenting, sharing, and following. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Arrivederci, everyone.